Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for having us. We're going to talk a little bit about SEO. It stands for Search Engine Optimization. It means getting your site higher in the Google ranks. And was there anybody here who didn't really know that, SEO? Now you're not going to admit it. That's it. Probably a couple of you. You can know a very little bit about it, and that is great, and you can know a ton about it. And when we meet with clients, sometimes they're really doing well with SEO. They're ranking well, and we think, okay, how can we do better? Or even if they're ranking at the top of the page, we talk about defending your position, because there's always going to be somebody on your tail. There's always going to be, you know, another plumber, and I don't know if there's any plumbers in the room, but we like to talk about the plumber because they're the prototypical local guy. And we feel sorry for the plumber because he used to have a big ad in the yellow pages and that's all he needed. Now he's got to know what SEO means. It used to be easy for them and not so much anymore. So some people know just a little about SEO and we move them to here, and if they're here, we move them to here, and if they're here, we move them to here. There's always more that you can do. And it's changing all the time. It's why Carla and I, Carla's here with me today, and we love it here. And you know, when we meet with a client, we try to figure out where they're at, how we can move the needle for their business. We're also going to talk about reputation because this is still kind of a new game. You know, the game kind of 10 years ago was optimize your site for Google. And now I think it's a little bit more, you know, optimize your site for people because they're going to look for your reviews and they're going to judge you on that. And so things have really changed. It's a little bit less about meta tags and keywords and really just what are your customers saying about you and how are you listening to that and how are you responding to that and how are you using that feedback to improve your business. I mean, that's the great thing about online reviews. It's not just about getting those 5 stars, it kind of is, but it's about improving your business, it's about listening to your customer and improving the way that you do things. And then I'm going to talk actually a lot about the future. Because I like the future, I've always been a bit of a futurist, and if we had this crystal ball to show us what the future holds, maybe we could be smarter in our business. So I'm gonna talk a lot about the future here, and I don't have a crystal ball, I wish I had one, but I think we all kind of do have one, because you get these little things, these little anecdotes sometimes, or maybe you meet somebody somewhere and they tell you, you know, I don't know what movie it's in, he says, plastics, my boy, plastics, you know, this is like 50 years ago or 100 years ago. And you get these glimpses of the future, and it's what you do with it. Do you stop and do you think and do you act on it? And I try to. I fail mostly, but I try to. And this was my sort of crystal ball like 20 years ago. More than 20. This would have been like 1996. And I stumbled on this site called Network Solutions, and it says you can register a domain name. And then it was only .com. And it was like, it was $70 for a domain name. And it didn't make sense to me. I go, only 70 bucks? No way. And I stopped and I looked at it for a second. Now, at that time, every domain was available. Like everything, every country name, everything was available. I did nothing. I don't know what I did. I went back to what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something. I went back to what I was doing. And I forgot about it completely until years later. And years later, I stumbled on this .ca thing. And back then, all the .coms were taken. Business.com went for millions of dollars, and the .cas were all available. And it's because we were in a sort of a bureaucratic quagmire with it. You could only have one domain. You'd have to apply for it. It would take 7 days for them to tell you if you got it. And that was actually in 2000. And so we bought a lot of domain names. And really, our trick was we went through the yellow pages, and we registered the headings. Simple as that. We always thought the yellow pages will go away. It will be online, and we want to be there with it. And so we registered all these domains and more. Really, the list is much, much longer. And we use these domains now literally to help our clients. We've launched kitchens.ca, and it's a list of kitchen guys. But in this case, roofing.ca, so that's our directory. It comes up with a profile page for this client, and it has 5 stars here because we want to make our clients look like 5-star guys online. I mean, especially if they are. And most of them are. And we're trying to make him look better online. And there's other directories. You may have heard of something called HomeStars. It's a review site for contractors. Our whole job with these domain names is to help our clients look great. So if we have a kitchen guy, we put him in kitchens.ca, we encourage him to get reviews, and he ends up with results like this. Because when people are Googling your name, and they are often with the word reviews added to it, what happens? Do you come up? Do you come up well? Do you come up with 5 stars? Do you even know? And we're surprised sometimes when we meet with a client, have you Googled this? Have you seen this review? It's horrible. It's on Yelp or Google or somewhere like that. So you've really got to stay on top of your online reputation. So I'm going to talk a little about the future because I think the future is now. We see exciting things every day. Later I'm going to talk about this thing called Alexa. Who's heard of Alexa? A few of you. Who has Alexa at home? Just one or two. And I bet if I ask this question in no more than 2 years, it'll be reversed. I have it at home and I use Alexa every day. My wife hates Alexa. I go, Alexa, play Bruno Mars. She goes, Alexa, shut up. She hates Alexa. I'm talking to Alexa constantly. Alexa, set a timer. Alexa, what's the weather? Alexa, what's on my calendar? Now, you can't really have a conversation with Alexa. You can kind of ask a question. But I think, and at the end, we'll talk a little bit more about the future because I think that's the future of search. Because are you going to be typing? No, you're going to be, I need a good plumber, Alexa. Get me a good plumber. So I thought when I was a kid, I thought this would be the future. But it didn't happen, did it? There's no flying cars. I found this one. This is like the only flying car I could find. But it's just guys parachuting. It doesn't really count. And this is the future. Does anybody know what this is? This is a picture taken just a few days ago, or maybe about a month ago, of Jupiter. And they've got a probe now out around Jupiter, and it's circling around. And this is a picture of the pole, one of the poles of Jupiter, which we've never seen. Like, we got a probe out at Jupiter. The future's now. That's kind of what I think, and I love space, so I like this. But I know that's not going to help you with your business, so let's go back to our crystal ball and talk about the social economy, right? Got to be on social media now. You don't have to be everywhere, but you need to be somewhere, right? And probably most of you think you can be doing more with social. And I know I wasn't going to talk about social today, but social affects SEO. Because Google, it's not about the meta keywords and all of that anymore. It's about what are people saying about you. And people are talking on social. They're talking about your business on social. And so it's part of SEO, and you need to get on top of that. I'm going to talk a lot now about the reputation economy, because I think that's the one that hit a lot of people before they knew it. They had these bad reviews. And I'll never forget this snow removal company out of Ottawa called us and said, these online reviews are killing our business. And I looked at a picture of their operation. They have like 50 trucks. This was not a small business. And reputation was killing them. Why? Some local bad employees not taking care of their customers. I don't know what it is. But this one has really hit people hard and fast. And it's time to, but did we see it coming? Did we see it coming, this online review? We did. This slide is 10 years old, okay? And what this slide shows is, come around here. This shows all the Yellow Page directories and traffic to the Yellow Page directories. This is in the US, okay? And this is this little site called Yelp. And you can see they're all kind of just chugging along. They've all died now. But 10 years ago, they were still chugging along. And then this thing, Yelp, the yellow line here, is on the rise. Why? Do we know what Yelp is? It's a review site. It's a review site. We saw this coming 10 years ago. Reviews, we saw it coming 10 years ago. And still people aren't doing anything about it. And we know consumer opinions posted online. Number 2, this is how you find and trust a business, basically, is what this data says. And it's recommendations from people you know, right? Who do you know? Do you know a good plumber? You ask your friend. Got to get on top of this, right? Forget TV, forget mass marketing, all that. What are people saying about you online, right? And so just at home today, I Googled for a plumber. And I see this guy. Well, this guy only has 2 reviews. Next, right? And these are sort of results around me in the map. When you look at a Google page, we'll talk a little more about this, you've got the ads and you've got the map, which tries to find things close to you. And then this they call organic results. But this guy doesn't look too great. He only has 3.5 stars. But this guy looked pretty good. 78 reviews, 5-star rating. Not bad. So I figured I'd call him, but then I thought, maybe I better just check him out. And when I look online, I don't really see any reviews except those 78 in Google. And we tell customers all the time, okay, you can't have your reviews in one place. It looks weird to people. A good plumber would have a few reviews here, there, everywhere. Right? You got to spread it out. And that's part of our philosophy. Spread out those reviews. And I'll tell you one more thing. This is a little too much detail maybe for you guys, but the Google review thing, and everybody says to us, no, we want more Google reviews. We say, no, you need them on your website, you know, and you need them on other platforms. And they say, no, just Google, because people are so focused on Google, thinking that it means better rank. And Google has a huge review spam problem. A huge number of the Google reviews are fake. We see it all over the place. We have all kinds of evidence of it. And the industry is talking about it. Dear Google, fix your massive fake review problem. So what's going to happen to this poor plumber guy? This guy's going to lose a ton of reviews because there will be a day of reckoning with Google reviews. They'll go away. You've got to have reviews in other places. You cannot just be in one place. And when we work with a client, like this guy, this RCC waterproofing, sure, he has a lot of Google reviews, but then he has reviews on his own website, kind of our gig. He's got BBB reviews. He's got reviews everywhere, okay? He's got a few bad ones. Everybody will get a few bad reviews, but he's got them everywhere. And Google's even showing this. Google gets it that it shouldn't just be about Google reviews. Google's showing us here reviews around the web, right? Here's waterproofing.ca. That's one of our sites. Here's Trusted Pros. Here's Facebook coming up. You've got to have your reviews in more than one place, okay? Here's one of our clients, and this is kind of interesting. And because you don't always know what's possible, these are your Google reviews here, right? Right up here are your Google reviews. And this is another one of our clients. He ranks here and he's got Google reviews, but he's also got stars here. How do you get stars here? And when you see that, you know the question you should ask your SEO guy or web guy is, my God, my competitor has stars down here in organic results, because these aren't Google reviews. These are literally just reviews on his own website. And we power that. It's one of the things N49 does. We power that reviews. And there's other platforms that do that. And you can kind of hack it. You know, your web guy can just put code there that says, Google, we have reviews there, even if you don't. But you would imagine Google doesn't like that. You can't game Google. We've learned that. You can't game Google. They'll sniff it out. They'll figure it out. So you can get Google stars right in these organic results. What do you think that that's going to do to this guy's, what they call click-through rate? That's a very important thing, click-through rate. When 10 results come up on the Google page, okay, and yours is one of them, what percentage of the time does somebody click on your result? That's a click-through rate. And you want a high click-through rate. There's other things you want. They get to your site, then you talk conversion. Right? Once you get them to your site, you want to convert them. But right now, I just want a high click-through rate. I want my result to be the one clicked on. And I'll tell you, I'm going to click on the stars. People click on the stars. They look juicy. They click on it. Can your site get reviews here in the search engine results pages? They call them SERPs. Yes, it can happen. Talk to your web guy about that, right? It's all possible. And what we did in this case, this is that page that has the stars. We put reviews on the page. Now, he's doing video reviews, right? He's doing video reviews. And you know what he finds? You know, we hand out cards that say, leave a review for us, but you get a much higher response rate when you go, tell us how we did. Just a quick testimonial for our site. Tell us how we did. And people say, okay. And then how juicy does this look? Hard to fake, okay? Hard to fake. So ask for the video review. And how do we ask? We print a card, okay? We have a nice simple URL, review RCC. Tell us how we did. There's nothing wrong with asking, how did we do? We'd like some feedback. If you have a bad one, eat it, take it, comment on it, apologize. Try to fix it if you can. In fact, the customers who have been doing this review platform with us the longest they say, Carla, it's not the good reviews. It's the bad ones and how we respond and how we listened and how we fixed it. I came in because of how you reacted to the bad reviews, not because of all of the good reviews. So you've got to ask. This is a waterproofing contractor. He has 100 video reviews. So how do you get them? We ask. When they don't want to do a video, we leave them with a card. Okay? What happens when they type in the card? Gives them a choice. This through our software is like malleable. There's other software like this out there too. You can even sort of hack this and do it on your own, not easily, right? But get reviews on your site and get them on Google. And if you're a contractor, get them on HomeStars and get them on Facebook. Yelp, you're not supposed to ask for a review. Yelp says don't ask for reviews. Let it happen naturally. Tough, right? It's tough, the review game. It's tough, it's work, okay? But huge benefits. Huge benefits. When you have a lot of online reviews, people will say to you, I came to you because I read the reviews. Who's booked a hotel without checking TripAdvisor? I mean, that's the world we're in right now. You don't want this. We worked with Mr. Reuter. It was bad. He had pissed consumer would come up when you Google his name and all kinds of bad things. Don't let it get to this point, right? Don't let it get to this point. People writing blogs just on how mad they are. You know, because when somebody's happy, do you think they go, ah, best plumber ever? No, but if they did a bad job, worst plumber, and that they're doing, right? So stay on top of it. Okay, so I got the crystal ball again. This wasn't supposed to be part of my thing, but I'm so excited about e-commerce. I never was before. And if you've got something that you think you can sell online, start selling it online, even if it's just a little at a time. It's never been so easy. There's a Canadian company called Shopify. You can have a website up and running in not a long time. Sure, you can do a big custom thing that takes a long time, but it doesn't take much to sell online these days, right? Everybody's surfing. Right? Everybody's online. And this year, I mean, you want a crystal ball. This is retail closings, retail store closings in 2017. It's just last year, okay? And this is just in 1 year. Payless, 1,000 stores gone. Radio Shack, 500 stores gone. Some of these are still hanging on, these guys, but retail's taken a big hit. Why? Anybody order anything from Amazon? Anybody a Prime member of Amazon? Anybody a Prime member? Look how many. Look how many, right? Every day at our office, we get another package. Things are changing, and things are changing fast. Let me tell you, even 5 years ago, when I would meet with like an appliance retailer or something, I said, you know, online you'll probably be disappointed. And now I'm like really behind it. And this is going to keep going, right? The reports say more closures. This is going to keep happening, right? This is Amazon's distribution center. Now, Amazon's big, right? But they do a little bit of everything. I'm going to tell you, we're launching a site called barbecues.ca, and it's kind of our site with a partner. And we're going to go like deep on barbecues, way deeper than Amazon can go. And I bet a lot of you run businesses that you will have more depth and more content and more information and maybe better prices, maybe not, than Amazon. And I think we can win in that economy. This was a domain that I owned. It was rugs.ca, and I sold it. I sold it for $20,000. Everybody says to me, oh, you're selling your domains? I don't want to sell them. I want to develop them, right? And you should be thinking the same way. Develop your business, develop the online world. We sold this domain, and this guy has $1 million business now. Comes up all the time for rugs. So we launched barbecue. If you need a barbecue, call us afterwards. Great deals on barbecues. And we're launching a bunch of our sites, fireplaces and vacuums and even roofing.ca, because we don't think it's just about click buy. It's about click, I need a new roof, but I don't want to meet with 3 contractors. Is there a better way? And so we've built this interface where you can literally draw out your roof and it spits out an estimate right away. Things are changing, right? I mean, we all Uber. Things are changing, okay? There's a big shift going on, and we want to be ahead of the curve on it, right? So we get our crystal ball out. This is the most exciting thing. Analytics is just unbelievable these days. Unbelievable, okay? You want a crystal ball, look at your analytics. How many of you have a website? Most of you. How many of you look at your analytics regularly? Not as many of you. And now I'm telling you, it's not just about looking at your analytics. This is what I used to say. Look at your analytics. How many people came to your site? What page they go to? I'm bored with that. You want to see the exciting thing on analytics? Use analytics to change that button, that call to action on your site. Every site should have a call to action. Click buy, the obvious call to action, right? But for many businesses, it's get a quote, get a free in-home consultation, something like that, some call to action. But what analytics literally lets you do now is you can change the color. We found that more people clicked on get a free estimate, same button. We just changed the words. And we changed that literally within Google Analytics. It's called Google Optimize, okay? And you can literally do A/B testing all day long you don't have to call your web guy. It's all done within Google Analytics. It's called Google Optimize. And you should be A/B testing, the heck out of your website, because it's all about little improvements, right? We put up these 2 pages, this one performed better. Then we tried these 2 pages and this one performed better, right? And you can make these iterative changes. And at the end of the day, you're going to sell more stuff or get more in-home consultations or whatever it is. And again, it's not just about clicks. We want to convert, right? We get them to your site, but then we want to convert, and Google Optimize will help you do that. So I'm going to go really fast through these next few slides because we want to save some time for questions. And we talk about 4 things with SEO. Okay, we talk about 4 things. We talk about link building. Okay, link building, because it's who links to you. Google looks at all the websites that link to you. It literally looks at all the sites that link to you. And it goes one step further. It looks at the content on that site. So it doesn't just read your site, it reads all the other sites on the internet. And then it sees all the links. And if you have good relevant links coming to your site, links about your industry or your business, links to your site, key. You will never rank well unless you have links to your site. Often that's just asking. You might want to ask your association or a manufacturer you rep, or and there's other ways to get links through citations. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Link building is key, and it's never over, it's never done. On-site SEO is key. Obviously, if you want to come up for plumber, your site better talk about plumbing and talk about plumbing problems and talk about plumbers in general and how great they are. And your site has to talk about what it is you want to come up for. Simple as that. And those keywords need to be prominent, not hidden in the code. Google doesn't care about what's hidden in the code. It needs to be on the page, showing it to people, then Google will look at it. Social signals, I mentioned already. Google's starting to look more and more at what you're saying on your social channels, and are people following you, and are people echoing what you say? And then reviews. These are sort of the 4 pillars of SEO. Link building, right? What's on your site? Content. They always say content is king. That's been a term in the SEO industry for 20 years. Content is king. You've got to have good content. What are you saying on social and online reviews? Those are the pillars. And I mean, these are some of the clients we work with, and I'm not going to go through these examples, but they all rank really well. And if you're going to work with an SEO company, this is the easiest thing: is show me where you've got your clients ranked, right? It's there. It's obvious. If they can't show you examples of how they've gotten their other clients ranked, they're probably not going to be successful for you. It's the easiest thing. Show me where you've got your clients ranked. Here's an architect we worked with. There's his site. Second on the page because the association's #1 in tough to beat associations, okay? So ask your SEO, show me what you've done. Here's a client we work with. Here's 4 times on the page. Don't expect this. You're not going to be, probably the most you're going to be is once in the map, and then 1 or 2 times in organic. That's kind of as good as it gets, right? And you can do so many things now. This is a comparison, actually, of Stu's site and other competitors. And we can see what they're doing. Like, we can sort of reverse analyze your competitors, right? Look what they're doing online. Who's linking to them? How many likes do they have on Facebook? Are we on par with them? There's so much online. You can literally pull up your client's website and analyze the code. It's on the open, right? So you can do so much by looking at your competitors. And I wanted to talk about something called citations. We do a lot of citations, mostly Nicole and Cassie over there, a lot about citations. What are citations? It used to be that listing in Yellow Pages, and that was good enough, and it's not anymore. And now people think, oh, just Google. If I'm on Google, I'm good. But Google is constantly looking at all these little directories. Some are bigger, like 411 or Yellow Pages, or N49 is here because we also own a directory. And you got to be in all these places. And I'll go one step better. You've got to be optimized in all these places with keywords on your descriptions and photos on all your profile pages. And if it's a review site, you should have some reviews there. And we talk about some sites like, there's Yelp, right? Yelp, you can have a great page on Yelp, free. The Yelp guy's going to call you, don't buy the Yelp stuff. You can have a great free page on Yelp, and you should fully maximize that page. You can have a ton of content, even if you don't have any reviews. You can have a ton of great content on Yelp. The most important, I would say, is a good Google profile page, right? And you can see it here, when you type your business name, a little snapshot of it comes up. Make sure you're categorized properly. Make sure you're categorized properly in Google. There's so many things that can be done these days. And I didn't want to talk much about websites, but we do build websites, and there's template websites and there's custom websites, and this is our process on a custom website. And a higher end company will have this kind of process, and it starts with a wireframe. This is a wireframe. Don't just build the site. And in the past, we would do layouts of the site before we built it, because you want to see what it's going to look like before the web guy builds it. But now we go one step back from that, and we do what's called a wireframe, right? Without looking at color and look and feel, what's the functionality on your site going to be like, right? How are people going to interact with it? They talk about UI, UX, right? User interface, user experience. You want to think about that. What are people doing on your site? How are we going to convert them? Where's the wish list and things going to be? And only once you're happy with this wireframe do we do a layout. This is a layout of the site. Still doesn't work yet. It's just now it's a picture. But you know, we went from that other one to this, and then we go and build the site. And that's a good process. Maybe not for a $1,000 site, but if you're going to spend, you know, $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 on a website, you want your web guy to wireframe first, and then do layouts. Don't start building until I'm happy, because then at the end of the day, you might not be happy, right? I'll build a site, then you won't want to change it later on. Really hard to change it, obviously, once you build it. And you know, we use WordPress a lot, and I mentioned Shopify earlier. You want an admin system. You want to go back to the web guy every time you want a little update. You want to be able to do that on your own. So you want, they call it a CMS, right? You want a content management system for your website. And a lot of the SEO can be done right in that content management system. Okay. So I understand, you know, I put up this guy. I put up this guy because, you know, how much is a website? People ask us all the time, how much is a website? And it's, you know, sometimes we say snarky things like, well, how long is a piece of string? It depends. It depends what you want. And sometimes it's like, well, how much you got to spend? Like, that's the web guy, right? The web guy wants to blow your budget, and for good reason. And I don't mean it in a bad way, and I don't mean to look like this guy. I might look like a little like him today. But, you know, it's about your budget. It really is. And you might want some ranges for your website, but there's many different ways to build a website, and you want your web guy to explain that. Is he using a template? Is he building it custom? You know, seek out your competitors. What does their stuff look like? I just wanted to stop on this example here for one quick second. This is so Google shows this thing called reviews around the web. And this is literally his website. It's the feed of reviews we stick on his website. I mean, take it. If Google's going to stick your website here, like, take it. Right? You want all the real estate that you can get. And you know what you can't see here, because I can't scroll down, is lower down on this snapshot that Google puts there for you, right, of your business. A little lower down you'll see you might also consider. And Google, nasty side of Google, literally puts your competitors down here. Have you seen that? They will put your competitors there, driving traffic away. Oh my God, I Googled this business. And Google says, no, I'm just not going to show, I'm going to show your competition right on your profile. It's a nasty thing that they do, okay? But what you can do is you can increase the amount of real estate you've got here. How? Get reviews around the web. Have some Google reviews. There's another thing that's, Nicole, it's if you do it's just a post in Google My Business. You do a post in Google My Business. It will appear here, actually with your name, with a nice little blue check mark, and with the extra of that post. Now, Google's smart. If it's been like 30 days, it'll go away. So you've got to keep refreshing it. But it's a way to push down. You might also consider. Who wants that, right? So important to understand what's coming up here when somebody Googles. What category are you in? He's categorized correctly. Wedding venue. This is key. If you're a caterer and you're categorized as a venue, you're never going to come up for catering, right? Make sure your categorization is right, not just on Google, but around the web. So, okay, so my last crystal ball, and then we'll take a few questions, is my new girl at home. I talked about her earlier. She's not the only thing, right? I mean, Google's got their own thing. They call it Google Home. Doesn't have a name. Google failed to name their product. With Apple, it's Siri, right? With Amazon, it's Alexa. Amazon owns that. Do you guess why Amazon wants the Alexa there? Amazon, order a book, right? Amazon, order my groceries. Amazon, here's my grocery list, right? And it won't be long, I don't think, before Amazon has the food, right? Didn't they buy Whole Foods? So I'm doing my grocery list now on Alexa. Alexa keeps track of my grocery list. And I don't think I'm that far from, okay, Amazon, have it delivered. Have it delivered. There's a Whole Foods very close to my house, right? Things are changing so fast, and it's super exciting. This is Harman Kardon has partnered with Microsoft, because Microsoft has something called Cortana, another horrible name, but better than no name Google. I think this one looks a little funny because at first I thought that it was salt and pepper shakers, but it wasn't. And even Facebook, who's got bigger problems this week, even Facebook is testing something, and they released sort of a joke where Morgan Freeman was the voice of, not Alexa, but their Alexa was Morgan. And who wouldn't want Morgan Freeman? I think even my wife would be happier with Morgan Freeman. So that's our kind of crystal ball presentation. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks so much for having us. It was a great group. Thank you so much.